Hello everybody, welcome back to Grey Matter. We'll be continuing on where we last left off. Enjoy. Oh, let's see what's new today. What do we need to do? Day in a rowboat, Psyience mind. Happened the day before, experiment, and some bonus junk again. Alright, are we done talking about Laura, or is that still a thing? Oh, there's your answer. Laura. I need to check up on something. Which I usually do at the start of every stream, but yeah. Game is stupidly quiet. There we go. And I should probably up the volume here a bit. There we go. Alright. Well, let's go see if we find any ghosts in the closet. Nope.
Laura's dress. Could Laura herself have taken it? Now I really am going mad.
Oh, it's missing. Huh. Somebody tried to wash it. Let's go that way. Trot, 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 trot. Kitchen. Sure, let's go talk to our maid thing, I guess. Gotta give it some name. I keep forgetting her real one, so.
Good morning. How was your breakfast?
Fine. Is Samantha in?
She's at university. Would you like me to call her?
No.
Actually, I prefer not to be disturbed. If she comes in, tell her that, will you?
Of course.
Leave me the fudge alone. I don't give a shit. Okay, so last time we played with this dude, we found out some weird pictures. There was something wrong with the car. I can't recall what that was, but I guess we can check the diary. Oh yeah, the gas pedal was glued to the back end or something. Wouldn't that be something you notice when you start the car? I mean, if you start the car, the thing immediately goes into red on his RPM dial. You should go like, maybe I should not put this in gear. Anyway, let's go to our laboratory, I guess. Laboratory. Laboratory? Laboratory? Is there a difference? I don't think so. Sorry.
I bought that for the clinic. We never used it.
You always have the best times to drop in, I guess. Booting on hard drive, memory size 69,000 O. No idea what O means, but there you go. Select the session.
It would take hours to look through all the data. I need to zero in on a specific time.
Oh, so you actually do have to... I don't really see anything specific. Wasn't the pool thing at like 11:42? We'll look into this later, I guess. We'll probably get a time thing at some point. But today is not that day. Well, it probably is, but this hour is not that hour, I guess. Let's go check out our own lab. I'm still a little bit confused what the point of this is. Like, here's brains, boom, lightning. Lightning in the brain, huh? This, oh wait, this has changed. It's now, I'm Poe.
What is it, Laura? Keep going, darling. Give me a few more letters.
I'm Poe PC. Well, I don't really know what we're meant to be doing, so that's a bit problematic, I would say. Anything new on the whiteboard? Samantha saw Laura at the top of the stairs in the foyer. She was wearing the white dress. Laura physically touched me this morning while I showered. Her hand touched me and moved as if alive. Lasted about 3 seconds. To do for the day. Appointment with Dr. Ramskin. Check LNG device. Okay, so that's done. Repeat memory exercise for new sessions with Laura. Use one of Laura's favorite places for inspiration. So are we finally moving out? Getting out of this dusty house?
I don't need to make a new video log right now, but I want to...
Really? Are there new ones on here? No. Can I?
The picture is...
Yeah, still can't look at that. Alright, well, let's see. Can we leave? Yeah, we can. Okay, cool. We need to do something at the house here, but I think we need like a time or a date. Well, let's go do the appointment with Dr. Ramuskin. Which is a fancy name.
Dr. Stiles, it's very good to meet you.
Sorry to disturb you.
It's an honor. I remember when your Scientific American article came out. My colleagues and I were thrilled to see such open-mindedness in a leading neurobiologist.
As you can see,
Open mind, get it? Because he pokes around and... Okay.
Please, come inside. On the phone, it sounded important.
Okay, first of all, you were already inside when you mentioned that. Second of all, sorry to disturb you, we had an appointment. Oh, well.
One thing you learn as a neurobiologist is that reality is subjective, like the story of the blind man and the elephant. One of my patients had a brain tumor and became convinced his wife was an alien in disguise. Everyone else saw an everyday housewife. He saw something horrible. What clues do we pick up from our environment every day that tell us how to perceive the world? One man sees a pile of logs, another a sleeping giant.
Perception is a slippery thing.
My wife, Laura, died in 2002, but the reality I chose was to keep her alive. In my mind and in my heart. I started experiments in an isolation tank to bring back as many memories of her as possible. Even the small and subtle ones. And I didn't give a toss what anyone thought.
And now?
The thing I didn't foresee was that Laura might actually come back.
I've suddenly got quite a chill. Perhaps you'll start from the beginning while I light the fire.
No fire, please.
Oh, please forgive me. I'll call for some tea. I'm quite anxious to hear what you have to say, Dr. Stiles. If you'd start at the beginning, please. It sounds fascinating. I've never performed any experiments with an isolation tank myself, but they may well concentrate certain energies. I'd be happy to help in any way I can. And I'd be very interested in your theories on the phenomenon, as a neurobiologist, if you'd be so kind.
Basically saying you're a nut job and I'm interested in your case. Also, this seems highly unsafe. Oh well. Psyience trauma.
In cases that you're familiar with of hauntings, is it typical for the deceased to obsess over their deaths?
I'd say so, particularly if it was violent.
Laura keeps communicating about the accident. but I'm not sure if there's really something there or if she's just fixated on that moment out of shock.
I know you'll leave no stone unturned finding out. If there's nothing to it, it will be clear soon enough.
Yes, of course. Have you heard of any similar hauntings, for lack of a better word?
Some of the elements, such as the way Laura communicated with you in the tank and the RNG message, these sound like classic communiques from the spirit world. But other things you've described, the moved nightgown, the form under the sheets, and most particularly the events at the university, those sound like PK activity, telekinesis, objects being moved with the power of the mind. Are you positive all these manifestations are Laura?
Of course. One paranormal source is remarkable enough, much less two different ones. Don't you agree?
You have a point.
Great, so he's an equal nut job actually believing him. Great.
Studies done with dying and comatose patients have provided some interesting clues about consciousness. There are authenticated cases of the mind projecting itself from the body, witnessing things that occurred far away. If the mind can project itself from the body, then it's possible for consciousness to survive physical death.
Do you have a scientific explanation for how that might work?
Quantum theory suggests that three-dimensional space and time are essentially created by the brain in order to organize the masses of data that make up reality. The brain operates like a translation device, in the same way that a television set organizes bits of electronic data into an image. If the human brain creates space and time, then theoretically the brain could project the mind into the past or future, making itself essentially immortal.
That's astonishing. I hope you intend to publish on this theory.
I'm still conducting my research.
Right. Clearly not crazy.
Is there any connection between psi activity and heat or fire?
Yes. Telekinesis in particular is very elemental. There's a classic poltergeist case that involved a young girl in the American heartland. The manifestations in her household all revolved around water. Water running down the walls of the house, seeping out of the wallpaper, and welling up from the floors. Another classic telekinesis phenomenon is raining stones. And I recall reading about a shaman in East Africa who could make his victims burst into flames. It would all suggest that telekinetic powers are drawn from the earth. But I'm not aware of any studies done on the subject.
Raining stones, that gotta suck, right? Hail is bad enough. At least that gets rid of itself with a little bit of sunshine and warm temperatures.
Can you tell me more about the East African shaman?
I'll tell you what I remember. It's a well-documented case from the early 1900s, researched by a member of the Society for Psychical Research. He was traveling in Africa when he ran across this shaman. He put the man through a variety of tests, and this notion seemed confirmed by the odd fact that when the shaman was wet, his fire-starting ability didn't work. Of course, in those days, experiments in electricity were all the rage, so you have to take that into consideration. Still, he made a compelling case.
Okay. More nut jobs.
I'm wondering if the events on campus aren't some kind of psychic residue from Laura's attempts to come through. If she's generating energy, it might get channeled in unpredictable ways.
I can't say, of course, but the energy involved in the campus events is so unusually powerful. It's unlike any spiritual communication I've ever heard of.
But you said yourself you've never dealt with a case that involved an isolation tank.
True. True. I'm quite curious to see where this is all heading, Dr. Stiles.
Right into a straitjacket.
Thank you for your expertise, Doctor. There's one more thing. I was hoping you could give me some advice on how I might help Laura. Help her come through.
Dr. Stiles, I'm not sure what you mean by coming through. Earthbound spirits are trapped here because of some unresolved trauma or an inability to accept their own deaths. The goal in such a scenario is to free the spirit so that he or she can move on.
Move on? To what? Oblivion? I mean, what if Laura could be brought back?
But what body would she inhabit? How could she interact with our world? All religions believe that there is some kind of afterlife and...
Yes, thank you, Doctor. I'm afraid it's getting quite late. I must go.
I do hope you'll keep in touch. I'd like to know how this develops.
Of course. Good day.
Goodbye.
Great way to just say, shut the fudge up. Alright, so what did that do for us? Psy in the Mind is now done. No other places we can go to yet. Did you have a phone call with somebody?
I don't need to call right now.
Alright. Here's your answer. Well, let's go check some rooms.
She hated me. Laura. That was taken. That's the G. Laura.
Okay, so nothing more to be done with those. Check the dining room real quick.
Laura's.
Okay.
Laura enjoyed throwing dinner parties.
I'm not a fan of dinner parties myself. There's always like
China.
a few people that arrive that you're not really a big fan of, and you kind of just like have to invite.
Timmins Park. Surely it.
It's even worse when you get invited to one, I guess. Like, oh, hey, you made it. Oh, and you brought that guy. Swell. So we may have to go to a place. So much. There's way too much stuff to go through. How long did this experiment take anyway? So 30 minutes. That's 30 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 150 times 6. That's 900 possible options. Actually, it's only 5 because 60 or plus 1 is probably the same. So 5 times 30 is 150 times 6. Yeah, that's 900 still. So it's times 4. Which means 120, 720 options. Yeah, you probably want to narrow it down to like a time. Is there anything else we can check? There's the beds. I don't think they're
These
gonna.
beds are a tad intimidating, I suppose. I've been down here so long, I forget what it might look like to an outsider.
Like an alien.
I don't need to look anything up right now.
It did say something about 11:42. When the clock was 11:32, 42. I don't know, it's in Sam's diary. We don't have access to that.
longer tripping over files every time I cross the room. That's a relief.
Let's go back to our super secret lab, which is right next door to our not so super secret lab. You think flowers help people relax? Yeah, that'll work. Appointment with Dr. Ramskin done. Check RNG device done. Repeat memory exercise for new session with Laura. So do we use the tank again?
I can't go in there now.
The horror.
It's old.
I don't know if, yeah, I don't know. Being licked by something would really help. Can I go in there now?
Sam's room. She's probably not here, as usual.
As usual. Some of her favorite places. That's probably that lake thing or something, but... Yeah, but would it really help you knowing that it's doing it while you're not, like, unable to do anything? I already had one this morning.
There's nothing in there now. Was Laura really here this morning?
I know, check the towel.
I don't need a towel.
Yeah.
I can almost picture Laura in the...
Those still yours?
Those are mine.
Okay. Just checking. So we need to get this thing going somehow. The question is how.
The balcony that overlooks the back garden. I haven't used it since Laura left.
So the idea is we need to probably go to a place that's interesting for Laura, who is dead for quite a while now, but you know. Where were the paintings again? Dining room? Maybe we can find something else in there, because clearly the pictures weren't enough.
Laura's paintings of Timmins Park. Laura's paintings of Timmins Park. Laura's painting. Laura's paintings of Timmins Park. Laura.
I think we should be able to go to Timmins Park. Oh, we totally can. Alright.
Look, Mummy, it's a monster.
Shh, sweetheart.
Why does it sound like they're walking on wood?
There's nothing on the park schedule for today. Good, that means fewer people.
Timmins Park Bridge. Timmins Park Tree. Timmins Park Boathouse Tree. That sounds like a wonderful place to go. First, let's check out the bench.
I don't think that sitting on this bench could trigger any particular memory. I should try something else.
Does it say, oh well? Oh, they O'Neill.
This carving means nothing to me. It won't help me with Laura.
He's an assassin. Get him. May as well check the other trees. Got put some lead into it. Go, run. There you go. Team 8.
Just a carving in the tree. Doesn't remind me of anything.
It's a teammate. Get it? Is that mark related to spies? Ah, that's probably important.
This is the tree. I carved our initials here on a summer day.
What's the entire idea about carving your name into trees? Seriously. What kind of name is teammate?
I remember the park, but it's quite vague. Where should I go? The main track is down there.
Yeah, parks are vague. Let's go to the boathouse last, because I'm pretty sure that's where we need to be. Yeah, but trees aren't immortal. And love can turn sour pretty quickly. That is true. One bazooka shot at a time.
Apples.
Oh, kick the kid, kick the kid. Take our vengeance. The mom's not here. And again, there's two of them. Not sure if Dr. David Stiles can handle two kids.
That little girl called me a monster. Smart kid. I always thought we'd bring our own children here someday. Things change. I never understood why they put these statues near a playground. I guess you're never too young for art appreciation.
There's something wrong with this one. Doesn't mean you can't kick it. Activity modules. Is that really how they call like playground stuff? Activity modules.
Ice cream. Laura's favorite was orange flavored.
Ew. That's a thing? Well, I mean, is that like a frequent thing? I mean, there's like vanilla, pistachio, chocolate, strawberry. Those are like your four main ones. And you occasionally get like lemon or coconut or something, but orange?
I want one of those orange-flavored lollies you used to sell. There was vanilla inside.
What, you mean like an orange mibby?
That's it.
I like this guy's voice, which is like an orange movie. Oh my god.
There you go. Don't you like want your change?
Keep it.
Yeah, all 2 pence. No, but it's like orange ice cream really like a... Oh, it's one of those icicle pops. That's not ice cream. Lick it. Whoa. That was a little bit too graphic. That's a little too graphic.
I need to find a few more sensory items that link Laura in this park.
But that's going to do it for this episode. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the series. Feel free to show support by commenting, liking, and or subbing if you haven't already. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye everyone.